We are. Thank you very much for all joining in. We have sort of a information session that occurs at the beginning part of this meeting, and then after that, we are going to have our general business meeting right afterward. So we do appreciate everybody showing up. My name is Janet Providakis. I am the chairman of the Ayer Affordable Housing Committee. With me is Ken Diskin, as well as Alicia Hershey, who is from the Office of Community and Economic Development, and Karen Swampville, who happens to be the Director of Council of Aging. By the way, Ken Diskin is on the Planning Board. So these are some of the members of the committee. Missing right now, who I don't see, is Steve Wetzel, as well as Ron Morrison. Steve, you here? Oh, I thought I heard somebody. And Ron Morrison, who is our real estate agent out of Ayer. And I see that we've got some public members. Sarah, welcome. It's always good to hear from you. So this works out really well. What we'd like to do in the beginning here of the public information session is to tell you that we are looking to propose to the town of creating a affordable housing trust. This housing trust will go ahead up. You know, before we go in, it looks like we've got some more individuals showing up, so I'm going to hold off and give it some more time.
We have to approve the agenda, Janet, or you just go ahead?
I think what ends up happening is because we're having the public information first, it's it's the agenda that has to get approved for the general meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Janet, do you think it's a good idea for people who are coming in to tell us who they are? It's like signing into the meeting.
Yep, I think that sounds like a great idea. And what they're interested in as well, because again, this is a public information. We need back and forth discussion. So right now, Sarah, go for it, because you were here first.
Okay, you want me? I have to introduce myself. So my name is Sarah Withy, and I'm a resident, and I've just been interested in this the last few months. So I'm here tonight because it's the information session. So I thought now's the time to learn everything I want to know.
And ask all the questions that you need to, because that's how we get more information back out to you guys. So you got it. Thank you, Sarah. Who else is here from the public? I've got a couple people on the phone who are, I've got a couple people on the phone who happen to be muted.
Yes, Janet, this is Alan Menoyan, Director of Community and Economic Development.
All right, Alan, thank you for joining in, because we know that we'll get you and Alicia's input on all the other grants that have been available to individuals within Ayer. So thank you.
Very good. We're here to support your wonderful effort. So thank you.
All right, we got it. All right, I know we've got one more individual that is on the phone as well. Like I say.
Hi, Janet. It's Pauline.
Pauline, thank you very much for joining us too.
You're welcome. I'm going to go back to mute so I don't say something I shouldn't.
Well, don't ever say that. Come on. Pauline, I don't know, have you met Sarah? I mean, I want people to know who's on the phone, because Pauline.
Sarah Withy? I've not met her in person, but we communicated.
Excellent. All right, so that's good. So you know that Pauline has a wonderful history here in the town of Ayer, being part of the Board of Selectmen when it was called that, and Select Board, but she has also been on other boards. So as she will attest to, I tap her brain constantly of ideas and such. So, all right. I think, Cindy, anybody else in the hold of waiting to come in, or do you think this is it?
There's nobody in the waiting room. And the only other person we have is the Lunenburg Ledger.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully we can answer your questions that you do have. If I gather you're going to be doing an article, quite possibly. you're on mute as well, so. All right, Cindy, do you mind putting up the PowerPoint, please? What I've got here is, again, what we're trying to do is, this is a public information session, so that we are attempting to get a housing trust, an affordable housing trust within the town of Ayer. And if, I don't know, Cindy, can you share that on PowerPoint or no?
Yep, working on it. Hang
Okay,
on.
no, that's okay, no problem.
There it is.
This is going to be one of two information sessions. One session, like I say, is tonight. The other session is going to be held on Monday, September 21st at 7:00 p.m.
Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Ken.
All right. Thank you. All right. With this information session, again, it's to give the residents some idea of what is a municipal housing trust. If we can run the slideshow, so I'll get to the second slide. Cindy, please. It's like, I'll wait till it comes up.
There.
Sometimes,
There might be a little bit of a delay. I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah, and especially with the crazy weather that's out there. I hope everybody's
Jan-
safe.
Janet, it's Pauline. I'm sorry to interrupt, but while you're loading the PowerPoint, or Cindy is loading the PowerPoint, are these slides available online? Because I'm just on a phone. I have no way to access this on a screen.
We will put them online as well.
Can you give me an estimate of how soon?
I can do it after the meeting.
Perfect. Thanks, Cindy.
Okay. Can you see that now, Janet?
Right now, I still see enable editing. I don't have it as the PowerPoint.
Are you looking at my screen?
Yeah, I must be.
Doesn't say what is a municipal affordable housing trust.
No, like I say,
No, Cindy, it doesn't. I'm trying to figure out if, because we've got all the slides next to it, but how do I move them along, or you move them along?
Is more than one person trying to do this?
I'm not really. I'm just looking at it.
Yeah, and I haven't. Yeah, I'm not touching it either.
Okay, well, let me stop it and start it again.
Okay.
How about now?
You got it. We got it.
Okay, let me just try making it full screen then.
Sounds great.
That better?
Not yet.
Perfect.
Oh,
You can see it? Okay.
I like perfect.
All right. The basic idea about a municipal housing trust is that it allows the town to go ahead and have a board of trustees that will administer the funds to help the preservation expansion of affordable housing within our community. Basically, what that means is that we have monies that are put aside to go ahead and be able to assist town residents. The Board of Trustees are members of the town, and the individuals that are going to benefit from any type of assistance will be also town residents. If we go to the next slide, it'll give you an idea of why we want to go ahead and create this trust now. This would have been a great thing to have a few years ago, because now that we've, entered into a time of 2020 events, it would be, like I say, it would have been great if we could have had this done beforehand. But the way that I'm looking at it is something better to be done as soon as possible than not at all. So can we go to the next slide, Cindy? One thing that we'd like to go ahead and do, I don't know if people can see why create a municipal housing trust. Can you see that slide?
Waiting for her to scroll down or someone.
So I have the potential funding sources slide I'm looking at.
No, it's why create a municipal housing trust. Move up to,
Oh, I'll find it.
Yeah, that one.
you got it. Okay. It's to go ahead and balance the diversity of housing within our community, all right, of creating housing for all. You know, again, with the words for all, I know we're not going to be able to take everything for all. I mean, you can't do all or and such, but what we'd like to go ahead and be able to do is the market definitely is going to keep rising and rising. And if we can, you know, put some sort of brakes or some sort of stop on it to be able to assist individuals within getting some sort of housing within the town of Ayer. With that, we want to go ahead and take advantage of the new funding streams, just like, you know, what we've asked for when the CPA surcharge was requested last year, voted on by the town, so that we have some additional funds starting to come in for the 2021 tax year. And those additional funds will be able to be used, you know, for more of the housing category. Again, having a 3% surcharge is quite a impact on many households. But if they can go ahead and see what type of benefits the other, like I say, even themselves might be able to benefit from helping out with different types of housing assistance and such. And then another thing that the town did is they adopted new inclusionary housing zoning bylaws, and that there's a potential for an in lieu of payment, in lieu of fees. And so if that does happen, we can go ahead, again, if it's applicable to whatever is being built, then we might be able to go ahead and take those payments and put it within this, you know, within a type of fund. Again, I spoke about the potential for emergency hardship cases, like with the current pandemic that's going on. And hopefully we don't have any future states of emergencies, but it would have been great to have this type of a program available because of this pandemic, you know, hitting. We've got individuals who are having a tough time putting food on the table. If we can assist somehow or another with getting their rent payment done up for at least a couple months. I mean, right now we've got, you know, the federal and state governments helping out, but it would be nice to be able to have something, because that's going to all run out. Once that runs out, it would be nice to have something locally that can go ahead and do that. And again, you know, this is only for Ayer residents. It is not something that, again, the state will control, the federal government will control. This is going to be town residents assisting town residents. So I think that that has a lot to do with, you know, when you look at CPA funds, all these funds that we're collecting is only for the town of Ayer. It doesn't go anywhere. It's the town of Ayer that makes that decision. This is the same type of thing where it's going to be a board of trustees made of town residents, you know, assisting others. And then again, you know, one thing that is close to Alan and Alicia's heart is the Ayer Master Plan initiatives, because we want to make sure that as we created this new master plan, one of the things that was emphasized right at, I think, the first sentence of the first paragraph is that we have a diverse population within the town of Ayer. That's what makes us so, I think this is what makes it home for me, is that there are so many different types of individuals within this town that we want to go ahead and be able to keep that instead of having it be a gentrified, you know, community and such. Any questions with regards to all this yet? Does it all make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next, you got it, Cindy. Thank you. So some of the ideas with how this housing trust can be used. I bolded that the rental assistance, because that is our first primary goal that we want to go ahead and do. And when we look at rental assistance, it can be something, again, just like we can help out with maybe $500 more a month and it will go right to a landlord. Is this going to be a contractual agreement with the town resident and with the landlord, that it's going to be an agreement that we will pay this money to them, not to the renter. And with that, it can be something that can be, like say for the couple more months until they get their feet, on the ground. It's not, something that's going to be permanent, and more than likely it's going to be temporary. Again, it depends upon how the Board of Trustees want to see and how this moves forward. But it's going to be for low and moderate income households. When you look at those numbers, it's amazing on how many of us can almost fit into that moderate income level or low income level. And when you know that there's going to be something there to assist, and you don't have to look for federal funding to help you out, you don't have to look, for state funding. This here is, again, kept locally so that these monies, how do I say it? It's again, it keeps it more like home. But we're not talking about people who can receive Section 8s. This is above and beyond all that. These are individuals who I look at it as have fallen through a crack because they make too much for the state or federal funding, but then they, need that assistance to be able to get food on the table and such. So that's what our first main goal is. But a housing trust can go so much more. You can look for construction of affordable housing. Again, it doesn't have to be 40Bs. It can be just below the market rate. So it's affordable housing for these income brackets. And if we can go ahead and create, hold on, I've got a visitor. If we can go ahead and be able to create this type of housing, again, this is something that can help bring more monies into the town as well, because more people will be able to reside within the town because they can afford it. And we can work with profit or nonprofit developers. Then we can look at other type of properties within the town that we can take and rehab and make it go into a type of, like I say, into affordable housing. Does someone have a question?
Wait.
It's okay. I lost the PowerPoint presentation slide. That's why. Go ahead. Cindy?
She's got it.
Okay. All right. I got it back again.
It was my fault. My finger slipped.
Okay. No problem. All right. So again, we want to go ahead and be able to try even to build new development projects, start looking at some of the available municipal land and see if we can do additional developments, and then look at some other properties that might be expiring, for their affordability restrictions. One thing that when you're looking at all these rehab and everything, I know the Office of Community and Economic Development does have grants like the CBDG grants that allow for rehab of housing. And this is above and beyond this. Again, it's another funding source that can help out local residents to be able to stay within their houses. All right. Alicia, do you want to add anything else to that, or did I cover with the grant and everything?
I think you covered it fine.
All right. Let's move on for the funding sources.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Please go ahead.
I'm just going to piggyback on everything that you just said about where this money could be used and bring some people up to date on what we've been dealing with at the Council on Aging.
Please.
I know there are people out there that are wondering what we're doing down here because we're closed to the public. However, we are inundated with phone calls every day, people that are running out of money to pay their rent, that are now becoming homeless. They can't stay in the hotels that are in Ayer. They don't have enough money to buy food. And my heart is, my staff and I are at a loss. And this proposition could not be coming up at a better time with the crisis going on in our town. The people that are at their very wits' end right now, moving into, month 6 of CD19. People ask me what is going on with the Council on Aging. We're just trying to keep people heads above water with anything that we can get our hands on to help. And this is exactly what needs to hit right now.
So I'm going to reach in here. I have put up a slide online. $5 million was given to the RAF program, which is the emergency rental assistance program that the state runs. And another $20 million was put into ERMA, which is the emergency rental assistance program for COVID. And Karen, you and I need to talk and make sure you're sending people to these things, because it's not just rental assistance, it's also mortgage assistance if people can prove that they've got, they've lost work and that sort of thing. So we'll talk about that.
Absolutely.
Yes, but we do need to continue to giving people many resources.
All right. And Alicia, quick question. That 5 million and what'd you say, 32 million?
No, 20 million and 5 million. So there is money out there right now for rental and mortgage assistance for emergency.
Okay.
And that's for the state.
That's through the state, but it's federal money, but it's being serviced through the state.
I just want to make sure that's not just for the town of Ayer.
No, it's for the state.
I know. Just had to kind of just make sure. It would have been nice. That's right. It's like, okay, that would have taken care of a lot of issues. All right. Well, that's good to know, because again, it's nice to be able to have all these different resources, because everybody's got their own different guidelines and qualifications and such. All right. So, Karen, thank you for that update, because it's true. I know I've been talking to other individuals from the
growing daily, Janet.
Yeah, and it's like, you got it. So again, it would have been nice if we had this beforehand, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't stop pursuing it, because this is a perfect time. All right, so the potential funding sources are definitely the CPA funds. Now with that, it's got to meet the CPA guidelines, so it's got to be low and moderate income individuals, and also some other guidelines as well. Excuse me. And then the other one is the inclusionary bylaws. If applicable, you've got the in lieu of fees. The town of Ayer funding, we'll be able to get some additional funds from that, as well as grant opportunities and private contributions. Excuse me. I do have to step out for just a minute.
Janet,
Yep, I got my coffee.
you get back.
Go ahead. All right. And private contributions can also be, not just funds, but it can also be a type of housing, land, of looking like that. The grant opportunities, Alicia, that would be above and beyond the CBDG grants, correct?
Well, sometimes when you're working with a nonprofit developer or something of that nature, you will cobble together funds from home funds. There's a lot of different funds out there that possibly the trust can be the vehicle that we access them through, or we put together in other deals. So that was just a general concept of a slide there.
Okay. All right. So that gives you an idea of where some of these funding sources can come from. Cindy, can we move on to the next one, which is on the initial steps? Please. All right, what's going to have to happen is we're going to be putting in a warrant article for the fall town meeting, which happens on October 26th. And that will go ahead and ask the town whether or not we can create this trust. If the town does approve it, then we're going to be looking to the CPA funds. We made a presentation to the Community Preservation Committee last week, and we're going to be looking for $30,000 at the fall town meeting. Again, if the town does not accept the housing trust, then we will, remove that other request for the seed money, because there's no trust there. And we're only asking for the 30,000 because, again, this is just in the initial phases. So as time progresses, we see on how the requests are coming in, what the needs are and everything as we build this housing trust, the board of trustees, the guidelines and such. We'll be able to get a better idea, and then we, at Springtown meeting, we can go ahead and ask for more monies, again, on how things are progresses. Then, again, this is, if approved, we look for seed money. Then we have to go ahead and create the Affordable Housing Trust bylaws. And we've got a draft that has been developed. The committee, the Affordable Housing Committee, has reviewed it, tweaked it a bit. It has to go to town council, review and everything else. And then we'll have it ready. So again, if those first two items are done, then we can send that to town council and have them give us, their final approval so that it can become part of the town bylaws. And it gives the guidances of what our purposes, what our goals are, how we're going to meet our goals, what will be the parameters that will show us that we've met our goals, what are the basic items for the Board of Trustees, what their jobs will be, and with that, how, again, they can go ahead and do the tasks that are afforded to them, how the monies are going to be able to come in, how they have to be monitored by the town accountant, and how the funding distribution's got to be. So the CPA funds are set up in one category, or one bucket of the fund, and then the other funds that come in will have their own separate categories. So all that is pretty much broken down inside these bylaws. And again, we've got like a draft that if anybody wants to, I can go ahead and send it out to you so you can see it. Again, it's just in draft format. We'll go ahead and, just like we did last year, we're going to have meetings so that we can look on what our local housing needs are. We do know that we need more, as our population is also getting older, maybe we need to look at more senior housing needs. Again, not only just, to say affordable, but maybe in a certain category and such, where these housing needs, where they're going to be located so that they're closer to the train, closer to restaurants, closer to food, shopping centers and such. So with that, we've got, all that for type of feedback. We had a great session last year where many individuals showed up to give us what they like about Ayer, what they don't like about Ayer, how we can go ahead and improve and moving forward. So keep that type of momentum going. Then another part of this initial step is that we do have to create that board of trustee. It looks like it's going to be, we're looking for a 7-member board, because if you go anything greater than that, sometimes it's difficult to get a quorum. You do anything less, you're not going to get some of the experiences that people have within the town. So we're trying to look for a 7-member board. And then the guidelines, the application, all that, so that we get the feedback to say, okay, we know you got to get down into the nitty gritty of the individual, what their needs are, what their wants are and such. So that will be all within that. To give you an idea with regards to the Board of Trustees, Cindy, can you go to the next slide, please? This is the type of stuff that's like within the bylaws, so that you've got the 7 member trustees. They're going to be appointed, which means like we'll make recommendations of, who we expect to, who could be on the Board of Trustees. The select board will go ahead and approve them, so that, like I say, they get the appointment. And we've got a term not to exceed 2 years. However, they can be restated after 2 years. It's not like after 2 years they can't ever hold that again. So they may be reappointed. Then we're looking for members with some sort of experience in banking, real estate law. It's recommended like that. Definitely, they're going to be residents of the town of Ayer. We want one of the guidelines from the state on housing trust. It's got to have a member from the select board or the town manager himself or herself. And it's recommended that also too, someone on the Affordable Housing Committee be a member, as well as someone from the Community Preservation Committee, as well as someone from the Planning Board, all because this is, be able to see what's going on within the town of Ayer as it's growing and such. Again, just stagger the terms so that you don't have everybody leaving at once, or, we just want to make sure that this is all, like I say, easy, it flows. One thing that I do want to let people know that we received a thumbs up support from the Select Board, from the Council of Aging, as you heard from Karen, from the Housing Authority, as well as the Office of Community and Economic Development. This gives you, like I say, this is quick coming at you for the Housing Trust. If we go to the next slide, I want to just remember, this is a new program for the town of Ayer. Some of our communities around us already have it established, or they are establishing it. So we're starting cautiously. We're looking for public feedback. So thank you for everybody who's here. And I'm opening it up for questions and concerns. Please.
I'll let Alan go. All right, I guess I'm up. So when is the Housing Trust document actually going to be prepared? Is it going to be before town meeting?
You mean the bylaw?
Yeah.
I can have I believe I can have the draft available. I got to just double check with Robert to see if a draft can be made available.
But that's what we're voting on, right? One of the things we're voting on?
I know we're voting on creating the Housing Trust, but the bylaw doesn't come effect until the Housing Trust gets approved.
So that's you could be working on this document in November.
Right, but I didn't want to do that. That's why I'm doing the draft now.
You're trying, okay, that's fine. I just, of course, I want to see it when it's done.
But, yeah, when it's finalized, but I can show it to you because again, I don't know if it's going to change that dramatically.
I don't know if I have much relevant feedback to give you on it. I don't want to throw you, to add more to what you're doing, honestly.
But I can make it.
You've been very helpful. Honestly, you've let me ask questions. Last meeting, you let me ask a lot of questions. I really have a feel of this much more than a lot of other things that I've had just from what's going to happen and what you're looking to do, much more than honestly with any other project in Ayer. Alan's done a lot of zoning maps and a lot of great things. So I'm not going to say, I shouldn't say you're the best, but I'm just saying this has really been very helpful to me, just letting me sit and listen. And because that's the only way you really learn. I've only been here 6 years,
So the warrant will be asking whether the town wants a housing trust. The actual final bylaws will probably be reviewed by the trust once it's put together.
Okay.
And with consultation of the public and the Affordable Housing Committee.
Yeah, sure.
And so that will be something that comes from, but everything comes from public input, and these are all public meetings. So what you will be voting on at town meeting is whether you think we should have a housing trust or not.
Okay.
So if you have questions about what a housing trust can do, and there are different funds out there that have become available to the town, or tax title properties, or in lieu of payments, those sorts of things, and the expanded CPC money. So this gives us a way to handle that money and those funds, and have an oversight committee that actually is expert in this, and that they learn what it is after listening to public, what it is that the community needs and what it is that the community wants, and then they guide the use of those monies or funds, I should say.
Were you still going to do some? We talked about transparency, I think, in the last meeting. Were you still going to do some reporting of some sort?
It has to be reported on.
Okay.
All those funds have to be reported on. And remember, the trust is actually handling the funds while the community, the Affordable Housing Committee is advisory towards the trust and towards, the community. So there's an interaction between both groups.
The housing trust is supposed to meet like 4 or 5 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Those are all my questions.
Okay, and then the other thing too, I wanted to make sure, since the Office of Community and Economic Development already handle these requests from the town residents, they're the ones who are going to be handling the requests as well, to do the administration, I should say, of these requests for the housing trust assistance. So that is another item that gets put on Alicia and Alan's plate. We've discussed that with the select board. And I know one of the other questions that we had at our prior meeting is if we do take over any type of building, like a house, and we acquire, say the housing trust will acquire it, then it needs to go ahead and either do the rehab or whatever it wants to do. And then it has the ability to, the town is not going to own the property. The town will be able to then, resell it at an affordable housing price, and it will have a restriction on it. And I'm going to pause there for a minute and just chime in with Pauline to see whether or not this is what your understanding was when we were discussing on how that property will have a deed restriction on it. Did I answer that one as well, Pauline, that you had for last time?
She's got her mute on.
I know she does. All right.
And Janet?
Yes,
Janet,
Pauline.
can you hear me? Oh, good. I thought I had unmuted while you were talking, and I guess I didn't. So I'm fascinated that you bring me into this part because I caught my breath as you said that. But before I answer that particular question you had, I wanted to make 2 quick points. The draft warrant article, the draft bylaws, the what was the other document you were talking about? Oh, the PowerPoint that I asked about earlier. All of those items are public record since you're discussing them, not unlike the draft town warrant that is often posted online for people to review. So I would encourage you, in addition to the PowerPoint, which I've not been able to look at, that you ask Cindy to post all of those documents so they're readily accessible, rather than me having to make a request for them, because that would then take 2 weeks for me to get a response, 10 days plus weekend. So it would be ideal if there would be a page on the town's website where these documents would be located for anybody who's interested or could be pointed to. Just that's the input. In response to your inquiry regarding the housing trust acquiring property, this is exactly the question I asked the other night during the CPC meeting. And Alicia, please feel free to overtake this comment, but I truly believe that the town or the housing trust would not be able to necessarily acquire a building and then rehab it. It could tax title process or some other process acquire the property, but then rather than the town incur the cost of rehabbing, which could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, it would RFP it to a developer who would then do the rehab work. And I'm going to use the example of Habitat because that's my most familiar involvement in rehabbing property. Habitat would acquire the property for whatever the agreed upon price might be, and Habitat would then raise funds through various sources, much of which is donations, to create or to rehab the property and then sell it to people who become, for all intents and purposes, permanent residents because they get a no-interest mortgage loan from Habitat for Humanity. Case in point, 76 Central Ave, and the first house is on Shirley Street. So Ayer is the proud developer, if you will, or the proud participant with Habitat in 3 houses which still, the Shirley Street, the woman who bought Shirley Street property is still living here some 15 years later. So they become members of the community, and the Jangs and Ayuns have been here, believe it or not, 4 years. It seems like yesterday, doesn't it, Janet? So that answers your question. I know there's a lot to be done, and I'm very intrigued with the concept. And I by no means want to step on anybody's toes, but I'm here to get more information and to share whatever I can.
Excellent. One thing I do want to add to your statement, though, Pauline, is you said that Habitat is with donations. The 3 houses, the duplex and the other house, did receive CPA funds. So that is monies that did go in helping create these 3 places.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. We the town approved $50,000 for each of the 3 homes. There was also money used for the apartments at the old Fletcher building that Senate Construction created. We've also used CPA money for sidewalk improvements for that building for people who needed a ramp access, and a number of elevators at senior housing on Pond Street cost several $100,000. That was our first very, very big project back in 2001 and 2002. So we've done a lot for housing in the 10, 20 years we've had this fund.
Yep. And we're going to keep that momentum growing. And that's why it would be good, like I say, to be able to start this off small with the seed money and get our feet wet. Hopefully we don't drown, I don't know. But, to go ahead and start it. And then next year, because we will know how much new monies have come in from this surcharge increase, and be able to ask for additional funds, again, as we know more about the needs and such. So.
I'm just going to chime in here for a moment. Pauline, as soon as we get the select board's office to give an approval of the proposed warrant, we'll post that. But we're going to get the approved draft of that before we post something that's not ready yet. And that will be posted, and there'll be a public hearing on it.
And I appreciate that, Alicia, but there are some people out here in the community, and I won't name myself, but myself included, who have actually written bylaws. And I would very much like, if you don't want to post it publicly, that's fine. I would appreciate the opportunity to look at it, talk with Janet, with whom I talk not recently, frequently, but for a very long time. And I would very much appreciate a copy of it. So if you don't want to post it publicly, which I don't recommend, I recommend it should be out to the community, whether it's approved or not approved.
I'd like to see
Once
if
it's
anything
approved
else.
by the selectmen, once it's approved by the selectmen, it's very rare it gets changed.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd recommend we use Alicia's approach, and we don't send out a draft of the article until we're finished reviewing the article ourselves, and we do go over it with the appropriate officials in the town, then make it available to the public. I have a few other things that I'd like to add when we get a chance.
All right, because I know that you just went through all this with the zoning, and it went back and forth. Again, we'll take it under advisement, and I will check with Robert, and then I'll get back in touch with everybody here present to let you know what the next steps will be. But yes, I do need to make sure with regards to the select board and town manager and such. But again,
so, just to be clear, and I don't want to take up more time than necessary. I'm not asking for a copy of the warrant article. That's something entirely different. I'm asking for a copy of the draft bylaw, which is a work in progress with the committee, just so that my request is clear. The bylaw is a different animal from the warrant article.
Yep, got it.
And Janet, this is Cindy. I did just post tonight's slides out on the CPC website on the homepage. You can let me know where you'd like
Thanks.
those.
Okay, I
was asking about those, so they are there now.
all right. Can you also, can you put it on the Affordable Housing Committee's page too? Because that would really be where it should go. But I know.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I know that's a bad thing about wearing multiple hats here.
I know.
All right. Okay, so that, like I say, any other types of questions?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ken, I'm sorry.
Can we go back to the slide presentation at
Sure.
all, like slide 5, which is a type of the funding sources?
I can find that.
So my primary question on the funding sources, Janet, is do we as a board or a committee, the Affordable Housing Committee, want to have some input to what we should prioritize for those funding sources so that we could reach out, let's say, with a letter to the planning board and say, you know, I'd like to prioritize an effort towards the, you know, in lieu of fees, for instance. So in the event that it's out there and the planning board is aware that, you know, if a project comes along that is going to be affordable, you know, going to have a number of units that are going to be required under our bylaw, that the developer has a clear understanding of the option of the in lieu of fees. I don't know if that's real clear, to be quite honest with you, but it might carry a little weight if the Affordable Housing Committee were to just send off a letter that said, you know, we've got this option in our potential funding sources in the future. We'd like you to keep it in mind. Even just to get it out there is what I'm getting at. And in the event that we do, it's going to take months and months for any development to come through anyway, maybe a year. But at least the thought would be there that, because we're apt to forget that is what I'm getting at. We're apt to concentrate on getting the, you know, the 3 units that are required or the 5 or whatever the case might be. And it's a good conversation to determine which is a better option for the town to get the fees and put it into an affordable housing, you know, trust, or to just force the developer to build the units that he's required to build under the bylaws. So it may just give a conversation, a planning board can talk about it or something, just a thought.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good, you know, viewpoint because again, unless the boards do know that this is available and to focus in on having a developer, again, help out with funding this trust so that they might be able to continue doing even more work within the town. Yeah, I think that would be good. Now, going ahead and saying prioritize it, I don't know whether or not I think keeping it, you know, as a list of where our funding sources can be. However, making sure that all applicable parties know that, hey, we've got this trust, if accepted in October, this now is an area that can help benefit the town and keep it growing at a, not an exponential rate, but keep it, you know, within the master plan's view of being a diversified community. So, yeah, so I think that's a good viewpoint. I don't know whether or not prioritizing is good, but again, we can continue, you know, we can look at that as a discussion.
I was curious to know of that list that you've got there. Typically, the priority would almost be in the order that you've got it. I guess CPA funds would be kind of the top priority, and then maybe I'm trying to determine if there's a method that people can think about that says how would we get these into a list of priorities, or does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter.
I think it's fluid, Ken.
Okay.
And when I think it's fluid because things change. Say we get way over our 10% in housing, and then we might. And this is the advantage of having a planning board member on the trust, because then they can bring back information of, hey, this is where we are in the trust. Right now, we really want you to push in lieu of fees because we want to help, you know, maybe a first-time buyer program or something like that. So I think that can be fluid as the town needs with reflecting the town needs. And
okay,
Alan,
fine.
did you want to say something? I saw you flick a couple times.
Did you ask me?
Yes, I said, I saw your light flicking a couple times, and I was wondering if you were trying to say something.
No, that was not an intentional flick, but sorry.
Okay, got it.
No, but I'll say, guys, excellent dialogue. I am really benefiting and enjoying the dialogue, just listening to all of you. And yeah, I think as collaboratively, we can really refine this and put it together. But I agree, Ken, what you're just saying. Yeah, I'd like to give a look at sort of what maybe it might be a hierarchy of of how we present, right, these incentives out there to the development community. But I agree with Alicia that they should have flexibility because that hierarchy might be recalibrated as the market conditions change. So I think this is all really cool stuff. Great stuff to work with.
Okay. All right. Any other? Ken, did you have one more thing?
Yeah, I got a couple more things. So the last meeting, before the last meeting, you did send out, or someone sent out an attachment, a PDF that did have the beginnings of the warrant article draft and then the beginnings of the trust draft, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked on that in the last meeting, I believe, correct?
Right. And then I sent it back out again before the CPA funding.
Okay, you did. All right.
Yeah.
So I might have missed that second one. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'll look at it again. But my question was, and it follows up with, I guess, everything that anyone else has said, is that when we do have a warrant article, I originally thought that the warrant article was going to include the trust documents.
We haven't gotten the okay from Robert yet that I know of.
Okay, because I saw it as being inclusive so that it matched up to something like, the other articles that have been set up for other, not trust necessarily, but bylaws that had the language of the entire bylaw included with all the sections. So
Correct.
if that's, I'm not sure if that's what we're shooting for, or we've changed our mind and now we're just shooting for a draft.
Again, I need to get the guidance, but I know that other towns have put everything all together.
Yeah, okay, so. And what was-
Janet, it's Colleen again, just a comment
Yeah. Go ahead.
based on what I just heard Ken say. If the Affordable Housing Committee or the CPC has actually reviewed and or discussed warrant articles, trustee documents, bylaws, or any of those types of things that we were discussing tonight, those are all become public records the minute you discuss them at a public meeting.
That's right.
So I would again make an oral request, so I don't have to do it in writing, that those documents in draft form, even minutes in draft form, are public records. The minute the minutes are created. So I would respectfully suggest that they all be posted on the Affordable Housing Committee page as well as the CPC page, whether approved by the Board of Selectmen or not. It's not determinative that they be approved before they be available to the public.
Okay. I mean, I'm hearing what you're talking about. So, so with that, like I said, we can go ahead and put it on that this is just draft, and again, with this being still new, I'm taking your I'm hearing what you're saying, Pauline, and I'm just going to just touch base with with town management and just be sure and such. So
Understood. No criticism
Yep.
whatsoever. Just a point of order, if you will.
Okay, understood. Because of it being, since we discussed it, it's almost part of the minutes. And with it being part of the minutes are a public document and it needs to be included. It's like an appendix or
Right, but as does the document that was discussed at the meeting that the members saw.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. We've got like about less than 10 minutes. So go ahead, Ken. You've got one more?
Well, I guess my question now, I agree everything should be public record, but did we have it actually as an attachment to the agenda for the last meeting? I guess that was my question.
When you say an attachment, it was on the agenda to go ahead and discuss it. And we did discuss the application, and we did discuss the article and the bylaws, and we were going to review the changes, the typos,
Yeah.
et cetera, and have it go ahead and be reviewed again. So that's why, when you say
It was basically a model that you had presented from another, a compilation of models you had put together from other towns, which people could go out and get anyway if they wanted. But I think what my concern was, and it's obviously correct, that if it's public record, they can get it. I'd do the same thing. But I'm wondering if it was already there. Because I wasn't sure if it was an attachment to our agenda already, the last agenda.
No, it's not.
Oh, that paperwork right in
It
front of
wasn't?
you.
Okay.
From our last meeting, I printed it all out, and I have 3 packets of exactly what Jen, you're talking about, and the warrant article, the example.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was attached to it because I have it. So we had all 3 were presented at our last meeting.
Right. And, like I say, when I look at the board, the select boards, when they have the agenda and all the applicable documents and everything else like that, they publish that all together.
Mhm.
So we didn't do that. And what I'm hearing from Pauline is like, if that does happen and we do put the agenda on the board, do we need to put all those other documents as well?
We should.
Yeah, I understood. Again, this is how I learned. So thank you very much. Where I'll make sure that, again, that we'll put everything all together. So, yeah, again, moving forward, I will do that, and we'll have it, we'll have it out there and such. So thank you, Pauline.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
Go
I
ahead,
just
Sarah.
have one last comment, and it's not a question, it's just a comment. Is just now that when this housing trust gets going, like I'm probably not going to know much about it because I'm not in the community economic office. I'm not on the affordable housing committee, so forth and wherever. I'm probably just going to have questions though about like where I can learn about this or that, and if you can just there's a lot going on. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand all these committees, and anyway, sorry.
There's a great place. There's Mass Housing Partnership. We had them come in about a year ago to discuss the idea of setting up a housing trust. And they come recommended from the Community Preservation Coalition. There is a woman who does, like I say, the presentations and such, but there are documents out there that are easy to read. Again,
no, I think I actually got a little. I didn't get my point quite out. My point is just I just hope that the residents can continue to have some input because I know you guys are going to be very busy getting the trust together. You're going to be managing I just hope the residents can continue to have some feedback as this goes forward. I know not many of us showed up, but
this is on Channel 8. This is going to be reviewed. This is, I tell you, the feedback that I get from people watching these videos afterwards, it does happen.
Yeah.
So just because they're not here doesn't mean they're not listening. And with that, we do get feedback. The more information we can put out. But the other thing too is I've got to talk to other administrative or whatever to find out what other type of information can be made available with the pandemic, because town hall is, closed up still, except for early voting. And with that, if you don't have internet access, it's like things like that where it would be nice to be able to have some place that has that type of information. I know people can go to I believe, the library. I don't know if that's open, but yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, I didn't think so. But, to be able to have these types of documents available for individuals who are requesting it. But Sarah, you, Pauline, anybody else who else is out there who is looking for information, contact Town Hall. They will, Susan has gotten in touch with me. Cindy has gotten in touch with me when someone's looking for additional information. So make sure you get the word out too, please. Okay, and let them know that there's another public information session on September 21st. And this will all get tweaked a little bit too, so that as we're getting more feedback, I can answer more questions that have come up. Does that help?
yes.
Janet, there's another tool that you could employ. You and I have discussed this in the past. This is an information meeting as opposed to a public hearing, but when there is a CPC public hearing, I believe, on September 2nd.
Correct.
There is no requirement that that public hearing be closed that day. And if you think about the news reports you hear from the state and the predominantly from the state, we don't get it from the federal government so much, but there are many times when committees take written comments. There's a lot of that goes on during many disputed committee hearings, and the meeting, the public hearing, which requires a lot more notice than just a meeting, the meeting is held open for a period of time, 2 weeks, 30 days, for written comment, because everybody can't always be present and accounted for, especially now. But as you pointed out, even in prior times, everybody can't always be at a meeting to say something orally. But by holding a meeting open for public comment, people are allowed to write in their comments at the next meeting, and the committee is obligated to share those comments. So that's a tool available to any committee that holds a public hearing. You don't have to close it at the conclusion of the actual meeting. You can hold it open for a period of time to accept written comments. And I have tried many times to employ that. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work, but I believe in you, Janet, and I know you can make that happen.
Well, the whole thing behind it is like that sort of makes sense if we don't close it, because we will have that other public information hearing on September 21st. That gives like a couple weeks more to get those written comments that hopefully people that we can go ahead and answer those on the 21st meeting here.
Exactly.
All right. And it can be for written comments just about the presentation by the Affordable Housing Committee. It doesn't have to be for the Sandy Pond, because that's also part of the public hearing on the 2nd as well. So, but okay. All right, no problem. I will look into that. So thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Is that it for okay, again, we've got September 2nd, where we're going to be requesting for CPA funds of the $30,000. So that will be a public hearing. It will be at 7 o'clock at night. Request the Zoom information from Cindy's office, the IT office. Then the next public information session will be on September 21st at 7 p.m. Same thing, it will be Zoom, so that we'll have additional information available in between, and give us your feedback. And I believe that we'll go ahead and finish up the public information session, and we just have a couple things to do for general business. Does that sound okay to everybody?
I had one more thing, Janet.
Go ahead, Ken.
I'm presuming that because you said that it's ready for the CPC hearing, that the application we worked on and or you submitted and so forth was acceptable to CPC. We didn't ever follow up on that, I guess.
Okay, yeah, I probably should have sent an email right afterwards. See, the CPC has gone ahead and moved it forward to a public hearing on September 2nd. And then at that public hearing, they'll go ahead and approve it. If they approve it, then it will go on to the town meeting on October 26th.
So the critical path here is we have to get their approval, or we could still get an affordable housing trust passed, but we wouldn't have the second part, which would be the seed money.
Correct, but it was unanimous with one abstention, with one.
Oh, okay, so they already, yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. They really suggested that we ask for more money. And again, I reiterated that we will come back at Springtown meeting to ask for more money as things get set. So, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Like I say, anything, I'm just the information session, we're going to move on and go.
Janet, can I just jump in for a moment?
Yes.
I think that we've just identified something, and that we probably need to at least do it, just pull everybody together for that draft. I mean, you and I, redid the draft of the bylaws. As soon as we talked to the select board's office, we should probably get that out to all the members and see if we need to meet one more time.
Okay. All right, no problem. Like I say, I thought I sent it back out to everybody, before the CPC meeting.
Maybe you did. I think maybe
Yeah.
you did.
I thought I did, but I'll go ahead and resend it out again. And like I say, during the CPC meeting, there was a couple typos that were found. So I'll go ahead and I'll fix the typos.
Yes, and we'll reach out to the select office too, the
Okay,
select board's office too again.
you got it. All right, that sounds good. I do have Wednesday off, so I might be able to go ahead and see if we can get a couple of people together and meet via Zoom or whatever. So, okay. All right. So if there's nothing else, then like I say, I just want to move on to the general business of the meeting. Anybody else who's willing to stay, they can stay, or it can just be, us. It's general business. I know that we're a couple minutes over.
Do you want to table this and do it next time?
We're going to still have the same issue, I believe. It's going to be tough. I think next time may even be more because hopefully we get more feedback. And we do have a quorum.
Okay.
So no, we don't have a quorum. Take that back. I just thought about that.
What do you mean we don't have a
Oh, we
quorum?
do. We have 3. I know. All of a sudden I go, wait a minute, where's their 4th? Yeah, no, 'cause Steve's not here. All right. So Cindy? I know Cindy's still here.
I'm here. Hello.
Can we have like 10 more minutes?
Sure can.
All right. We appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem whatsoever.
All right. So can I get a motion to approve the agenda of the general business?
So moved.
Karen, you're on mute.
I'll second. Sorry about that.
Okay. And all in favor, Karen?
Aye.
Aye.
And Janet says aye. All right. On the minutes for August 3rd meeting, I do have a correction. My only correction really is on the last page, pretty much the last paragraph, where the meeting was adjourned at 8:15. It should be, the count should be 500 instead of 400. And that's the only thing I found. Anybody else find anything else?
I didn't even see that.
Hmm.
Nope.
Sometimes when you're on the midnight shift, you go ahead and look at documents over and over and over again. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right. Now, with regard to the housing production plan update, Alicia?
Just wanted to let everyone, it's gone off to the MRPC for review and hopefully an almost final draft. But MRPC is just as busy as everybody else, and so we took a long time getting it to them. So we hope to see that sometime soon.
Excellent. And I believe we do have that draft as well as the old document out on our webpage. I'm trying to remember. I think we did put it out on our webpage on the Ayer, Town of Ayer's website.
I'm not sure if the draft is there or not. I'll double check tomorrow.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. All right. That's really what we wanted to go ahead and discuss. I will make sure I will resend out everything to everybody. Again, I'm just going to make those typo fixes on the application so that you know exactly what's going to get presented to the CPC during the public hearing on September 2nd. I'll make sure on that, and then I'll follow up with some of the other questions, and I will follow up with you, Alicia, on getting feedback from the administration.
Sounds good.
All right. Is there anything else people want to discuss with the meeting? I think this was great. I really, yeah.
Am I on mute again? Damn. Okay.
No, you're not. You're back.
No, I totally agree. I think that I just applaud the work that you've been doing, Janet. And again, I truly believe in this group. I've been involved in a lot of different groups, but this one, all of us, as different as we all are, it works.
hey, you know what? This is the town of Ayer, right?
It sure is. It really, really is.
So that's why I think it works out great. And what I'll do too is I think, again, I'll make sure I'm going to point out to people that on our Affordable Housing Committee page on the Ayer website, we do have these mass housing partnership links and all this, so that if people are, looking for more information to try to understand what's going on, I think this would be the great, the place to put it. And I think I'm going to add that to our slide. Okay, Alicia?
That sounds good.
All right, for more information, go here and such.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
More is better.
Always. All right. No, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, then can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I got a question for you.
Oh, go ahead. Before I,
So we do have that, that board at Town Hall where they put the notices of all the meetings coming up. Maybe we should section off a part of that, like the Devon's Enterprise Commission has a big chunk of it, or somebody else. But maybe we should just take a piece of that, or ask permission to take a piece of it while we follow this process to the town meeting, and get as much as we can on there from, just, I don't know, whatever you want to put up there. But something to just get a little more notice to the public for people who are not, internet connected, or checking on the town website or something, or be in the habit of walking there, looking at the notices.
yeah, I think Alicia, that little poster part, I think I put up there. Here I am looking for didn't this get this little,
I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
Okay, we'll make
So-
sure that it gets there for September 21st.
Yes.
I think that would be good. But
Yes.
thanks, Ken. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to go ahead and be able to put more information on there.
What about the board at the fire station? Our new flashing, our thing, that something?
The illegal sign, we don't allow flashing signs in town.
No, stop it, you.
We don't have a permit. We have a sign bylaw that says you can't have flashing signs.
And we've got plenty. But what about,
Interesting.
this is coming up, information, I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
I see you, Cindy. I see you, Cindy.
You got a variance on
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
We're using that sign right now for, mostly for emergency type of things like voting and COVID.
Okay.
So we're not really putting a whole lot on there, but what we do is we create a page for town meeting and any of the supporting documents that are on the warrant. And, we'll certainly include anything like that on there.
Excellent. Okay. Good feedback. We got it.
Hey, Alicia,
Yes.
can we chat tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh,
Call me when you're not so busy.
Yes.
All right. So if there's nothing else, can I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Doesn't need a second.
I know it doesn't. But all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All right.
Got it.
Guys, thank you so much. And Cindy, thanks for hanging out. Scott, thanks for hanging out too.